using some clay. I'm taking a break from the translucent clays. And I'm going to be doing a fun little project. I'm so excited about it because they came out so cute. I have my white clay. I do recommend you use a white clay. You can use any brand you want. I showed you the one I was using. And I'm going to be using some makeup powders in this. I'm actually doing 2 different versions of this. So if you don't have makeup powders, you don't want to use makeup powders, I got you back. I got you back, guys. I have so many colors here that I've never used. You can see which colors I've used. I like the lighter colors. I don't really like dark eyeshadow. So I have so many that I've never used them. So I'm going to use them in this project because I think it'll be fun. Nanny, nanny, boo, boo. Okay, so I'm just using my finger because I thought this would be the easiest instead of using a makeup brush to put it on because you're going to muddy up the colors. So this is the easiest way. If you have another way, let me know. I mean, I guess you could use a Q-tip if you wanted to, but I think you're going to damage the surface of the clay if you use that. So I'm just wiping my finger off really good in between each one. You could do all of your fingers if you wanted to, but your circles are going to come out completely different sizes. So totally up to you, obviously, but this is what I did. And I'm just kind of alternating colors. If you want to go with a color theme, totally do that. You want to do all blues, you want to do all reds. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if they make like a red eyeshadow. I mean, I have that like brownish kind of a color, but I mean, if they make red eyeshadow, more power to them. But I don't know if I'd look good in red. And then this is mine. I have it all done up here. And I thought, you know what? You could stop here if you wanted to. And you could just cut out your shapes. I'm really into the teardrop shape lately. But anyway, you can cut out your shapes. But I'm going to go ahead and continue on. You're going to need some kind of a stencil or something to cover it with so that you can put paint over it. You'll want ones that have like tiny openings. You don't want large spaces because then you're going to lose all of your pretty pattern in the background that you made. You don't want to completely cover that up. So I would go with like a smaller opening. Even something like this is okay. You'll still have all of that other negative space where your pattern's going to kind of show through. If you did use makeup powders, you'll probably realize at this point that it's going to take a little bit of work, a little bit of finesse, a little bit of love in your clay to get the stencil to stick to the clay. So just be gentle and kind. Just give her a little tap and a little love and just go ahead and, do your best to try to get him to come up through the slats and get a good bond. I worked really hard at this, so I just took my time. Got myself a good bond, and you can kind of run your finger over the side and you can kind of see where, the clay isn't popping up through. And then I used purple for mine. You can use whatever color you want. I was kind of going for more, lighter. You could use a black or even a white with this. That would be okay. I think the point is to be able to see the color against your colors in the background. And I'm just dabbing my finger. Don't smear or anything because you don't want to get it under and just mess up your beautifulness. I was so happy with the way this came out. Oh my gosh. I was so excited. I didn't want to cut it because I was just like, I just want to just make like a little coaster out of this and put it on my wall because it was just so cute. But I went ahead and cut it anyway. And I thought, you know what? These look like little trees or little like leaves or something. But it looks super fun. And I was like, I'm just going to cut out 2 of those and make earrings out of it. But you know me, I just can't stop there. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm using the side of my little heart cutter to cut out indents into the clay. I mean, you can take the side of your tissue blade, possibly, or even like a cutter tool and just make little hoops or little loops into the sides of it. But I'm kind of trying to go for more of a defined pattern around the outside. You could just leave it like that triangle kind of a look, but I think this really adds a lot of depth to the piece and just gives it that little extra personality. Sometimes you just need a little bit extra. So I did that on both sides, and then at the top I just used my tissue blade and cut it into like a little triangle so it came to a point. And then bent my tissue blade and kind of straightened up that bottom part there. So try to make it pretty nice and round. Just kind of perfecting it a little bit. And these are my 2 pieces that I made. I really, really like the way they came out. And these are the scraps from that. Usually I do a scrap clay project at the end of my video, but I'm saving the scraps from this video and I'm going to make something out of it in another video. So that will be the next video in the lineup. The second idea, or the second way to do this, if you don't want to use makeup powders or powders of any sort, you can just use clay. And these are all just Sculpey. It's nothing fancy, but because it's a softer clay, I did have to make them into little tubes. I put them in the freezer for like an hour. I literally forgot about them and then came back. And then now I'm just cutting them into little discs or like little, almost Pez-like candy. I don't know, like button candy, I guess, like that size. You know, I always talk about candy in my videos because I like candy. I like the candy and the chocolate. And then just start putting them together. Try not to put, 2 colors exactly right beside each other because that is boring. No, I mean, if that's your thing. Put 2 colors next, I don't care, whatever you want to do. But I'm kind of just, maneuvering it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And, honestly, I was worried about, because of the brand I was using of clay, that this was going to become one big mushy mess. But let me tell you, putting the clay in the freezer really, really, really helped this out. Okay, and at this point, if you wanted to, if it's too soft, mine wasn't actually very soft at this point, but if yours is too soft, put it in the freezer like this, and then you can freeze it up a little bit before, continuing on. But you'll want to kind of close all of the gaps and get it stuck together so that it's obviously stuck together and one cohesive piece, and then you can cut out your pretty pieces. So I just lightly kind of pushed and tapped and did a little bit of burnishing on the top, a little bit of light rolling, super duper. I didn't want to thin this clay out a whole lot either. So that is it. It's all closed up. And this is the stencil I'm going to use. The same as before, you'll want to choose a stencil with smaller openings for it. And that way you can see all your pretty pattern in the background too. This one's going to stick a whole lot easier. You just kind of push it in place, roll it, and then it's ready to go. That's what I like. Super duper simple. Again, I'm going to be using the purple paint. You can use whatever color sings to your heart. And then again, just tap it on there. Don't smear. You don't want to get anything where it's not supposed to be. We need perfection here, people. Perfection. And look at that. Oh my gosh, I was so excited when this happened. It looks so good. And I didn't want to cut it either. I wanted to make like a little disc out of it and just hang it on my wall. Like a little tile wall. That would be so much fun. Guys, I coined that. I'm going to make a polymer clay tile wall. You can't steal my idea. No, I'm just kidding. Totally steal it. I'm not going to ever do it, but it's a wonderful idea. It would take you a long time. But that might be kind of fun, I think. Anyway, so I'm just cutting mine down into a shape. I don't know what shape this is called. I'm sure it has a name, but I don't know the name of it. So I cut it down, and I really wanted to make sure I got a nice little pattern in the middle there, and both of them kind of had this similar kind of a pattern. Using the edge of my tissue blade to make it kind of circular and dip in, because I think this adds character to the piece and it's not just boring flat square-like sides. So I did that to both of the pieces. You could also use a circle cutter and push in and get those little small divots in there. I'm using a square cutter to cut out the center. And these are all the scraps for mine, and I'll be doing a scrap clay project in the next video. Hopefully, maybe. And these are a bunch of little nail decals. I never used them. My mom gave them to me because, I don't know, she got them from somewhere. But they're so cute, and I really wanted to use this in the previous video, but I kept forgetting to put it on my piece. Anyway, my mind, guys. I got to write everything down. So I remembered this time, and I was like just playing around here, trying to decide what I wanted to put where, and I was afraid this wasn't going to work, but it really did, because the backs of them are sticky. So you just peel them off. This one's not, because it kind of fell off and got all goopy on the back, and it's no longer sticky. But anyway, So you just peel them off and stick them where you want them to go. And it was super duper easy. I was playing around at this point, trying to decide what I wanted where, what would look pretty, and I wanted to just cover it with stickers, but then I was like, girl, you're going to ruin your pattern. You better take it easy on those stickers. You better just just stick yourself down. And then these are my pieces. I put little dots down the center. I just love it. It's like this little boop of like flair and flavor to the earrings. I just love it. And then the little flower down the bottom. Totally fun. Kind of looks like a Christmas tree in a way. Kind of like a leaf. I kind of love it. It's kind of funky like me. And yeah, so I'm really happy with the way that turned out. And oh my gosh, this is just like, wear me. I'm summer. I'm here. It's so much fun. And then I put a little flower down there. I had another yellow one. I actually had a couple of different yellow ones. But anyway, just stuck it on there. And all you got to do is cover it with resin. Like once it sticks on there, it's on there. Just don't like move it around when you're resining. And it sticks just fine. And I really like the way the back looks of these two. Like the back looks different than the front. Changes a lot because of the pattern on the top. Okay, enough rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.